you out there, you are greatly welcome to Future Setters Institute Youth Development Show, episode 30. It has really been a very great journey. It has been a great journey of learning, journey of improvement, meeting great minds, and giving them a chance to share their story in our platform. So it's so nice once more to have another great speaker in our midst, who is a very great woman, a medical doctor, and a resident clinical biologist. She's very good at what she does. She's going to be sharing her experience from what she already knows. So trust me, you are going to be learning a lot. You are going to be improving. You are going to be growing, and you are going to be trying new things today. So the topic for today is needs assessment. Needs assessment. How to spot an opportunity in a competitive niche or a competitive market or a competitive space, a place that is filled with a lot of competition. How can you really become the best in that place? How can you thrive in that particular place? And that is what we are going to discuss on today. So a lot of people be wondering, those Future Setters Institutes, I see this online all the time. What do they do? What's their mission? What's their vision? What do they stand for? This is a question that a lot of people keep asking themselves. And I'll tell you, Future Setters Institute is a place where you grow. It's a place where you thrive. It's a place where you improve on a daily basis. We see ourselves as visionaries, as people who can change the narrative. We do not just sit down, but actually do things. We believe in experience. We believe in seeing people doing things, doing practicals, and implementing them in their lives. This is what Future Setter stands for. So we believe that with you being part of our team, with you being with us, you will definitely achieve a lot of great things. Because we believe in your potential. We believe in you achieving those potentials, those things in you that God has given to you. You can actually use it to achieve success. And that is what we do at Future Setters Institute. We train people on leadership, personal development, and work ethics. Trust me, today you are going to be improving in one way or the other. Today's program is centered on business. Businesses. How can I build that business? Now we move on to the topic. Before we move on to the topic, I'll need to introduce, like I said, Dr. Assia Kahkahni from Senegal, a medical doctor and resident clinical biologist. You are greatly welcome, Assia.
Hello, everyone. I'm really happy to be among you today. This is my first live session on YouTube, so I hope it will be great. And I'm happy to be sharing with you my experiences. As Victor said, I am a medical doctor, a Moroccan medical doctor, and I'm currently studying at Sheikh Anta Diop University in Dakar. So please, if you ever come to Dakar, don't hesitate to visit us at our university. And I am also a Toastmaster member, which is a public speaking and leadership organization. I am sure you have heard about it. So for me, it was very exciting when Victor contacted me in order to participate in this live session because I care a lot about leadership, and I think that we all need to develop our leadership skills. And we now live in a world where we have a lot of innovations. We have so much technology, but sometimes it is difficult to assess the need and to see if the solution we are offering will be efficient or not. So we will be discussing today how we can assess a need, how we can be sure that it will work, how we can collaborate with our community where we want to offer the solution that we are thinking about. So without further ado, let's dive in.
Definitely. You are greatly welcome, Assia. So today, the topic is centered on need assessment. Now, A lot of people will be wondering, oh, this environment, they need something I'm offering. These people, there's something that they actually need. Like in that place you are, it's something like a pressing need. But what you are doing is see it, but you feel it's not really necessary. You see it, but you feel I'm not really skilled enough to solve that problem. You see something that if you go into that particular area, you will become the best at it. You become the person that people will pay for that particular thing. Or you are like, I don't think I'm ready to really do it. I don't think I have the finance to solve this problem. This is a question that we always keep asking ourselves. Should we just relax? Should we keep waiting till when is the appointed time before we start? That is where this whole topic comes in. It says a need is something that people cannot do without. A need is something that you are great at it. You can solve this problem. You know that you are valuable enough to solve the problem, and you are not ready to say I want to relax and wait till the time before I solve it. No, immediately I spot it, I attack the problem with passion. I attack the problem because I am experienced in that particular area. So this brings us to the first question, which says, in your own words, how would you define a need, Asia?
I think that the first step is to define the need. And for me, a need is a gap between the current reality and a desired state, something essential that people lack and actively seek to solve. It's not just a wish or a luxury, it's something that affects people's well-being, productivity, or goals. In business or project terms, identifying a need means understanding a real problem or challenge that people are facing.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. Must say you're on point. And I believe the audience are following as well too. So if you are following, feel free to drop a comment in the comment section to share what you feel, what you think about needs. What do you feel? What's your own definition? Feel free to drop it. Then we'll also display it. We'll display it on the screen as well too, with your name as well. So moving on, one thing that people are scared of is finance. They are so scared that I don't have the money. I don't have the money to solve this particular problem. So they see it because of the money, they decide to draw back. But when you could have just started, you could have just tried it to know if it's going to work for you. You decide to now complain about the money. So one thing about need does not look at the finance. Need looks at the urgency, the matter of urgency, that people really need this thing and they go so far to get it. I'll give an instance. This I stay today. A lot of people are in need of where they can print. They go so far to print. A lot of people are looking for good education, quality education, but they don't see it. A lot of people are looking for places that they can exercise. They can be around people, a community that is ready to bring them together and make them feel like they are part of a system. This is a need. You see people, they need, there's no light in an environment. Then someone now has a generator, he now starts to do things, and now said, oh, because people need light, they need a place to charge their phones. He decided that he's going to start charging phones for people, and they will pay some amount of money for that. And the person spotted a need. He saw that there's something that he can actually do to make that environment better. So one thing that we all need to do is to sit down and really assess the environment we are, observe the place very well, and also sit down and channel it to your skills, channel it to what you know how to do best. Maybe you are a teacher, maybe you are an electrician, maybe you are a laboratory scientist, maybe you are a business person, maybe you are good at negotiating, you're good at communicating, you are good at doing a lot of things that can actually bring people closer to you. And channel these skills to a particular problem. Take your time to sit down, get a pen and a paper, and observe the various things that makes people to go far from that particular place. When you observe the problems in that environment, you now start to look at it bit by bit and find the one that you can actually settle at that instant. So, from my own understanding, you can pick one at a time and start from that problem. When you start solving that problem, and people now know you in that particular problem, then they begin to ask other questions. This now makes them to be glued to you. Even because you solved one problem, you are now able to solve more problems for them. But a lot of us still feel we should go out, give people opportunity to go far when we actually have skills to solve the problem. So the fact is, you need money. Another thing, you need money to set up everything. Some people say start small, start big. In actual sense, it's good to start small, but at some point in time, it's good to start big. Because when you start small, people may
Victor, I think we have a network problem. I can't hear you. Your image is frozen. Or maybe it comes from my network. I don't know. Can you hear me?
that even if it is going to be small problems, even if it's going to be one particular problem you are solving, ensure that you are solving it bit by bit. You pick some of the things that everyone needs. You buy them in small quantities. It means that you are able to bring these people together. Like I said before, you don't need to start small most times. Sometimes you can start small. But even if you start small, there are still certain things that people will still need that you cannot solve for them. So if you can actually take them bit by bit, and magnet those people to you, that has actually brought an amount of solution to that problem. But if you are saying you want to start small, you just want to be in one particular area and start struggling and all that, it may be a very big challenge at some point in time. So it's good to start small, but also note that you need to put in effort to get those customers to you. Very much important point. So I'm going to ask another question. This second question is a great one, which I'm going to ask right away, which says, in a condition where there is a dire need for what you want, or there is no finance to fuel it, what are some possible things to do?
I think this is also an important questions that need to be answered. It's true that most of the time it's hard to have the amount of money that you need in order to start your project or to start producing, for example, or product that you want to sell, but don't have not having the amount of money that you need to start whatever it is shouldn't stop you from starting your project. I agree with you that sometimes you have to start big, but I think whether you start small or you start big, you will always feel in the beginning that you are not improving, that you are in a state of stagnation, and you get frustrated because you want to have results as quickly as possible, and most of the time it's not possible. You have to be patient, and even though you don't have the finance that you need to start that project, it's possible to look for investments through social media, because now we live in a world where social media has a lot importance in our lives, and I know that it's not a guarantee that you will have like from the first attempt someone who is interested in your project, but you have to keep in mind that you have to keep looking, to keep making efforts. And for example, LinkedIn is a good way to look for investments, because LinkedIn allows you to have a network. And in order to grow your network, for example, in LinkedIn, uh, you need to be consistent in posting, in talking about your project. And while you are presenting your project, for example, through LinkedIn, you have to keep in mind that it's okay if it's not perfect from the beginning. You will maybe, for example, let's say you are trying to share your project through videos. Maybe the first 2 or 3 videos won't be good. You will be struggling with the sound, the quality of the video. But this is how it should be uh, done. You don't expect it to be perfect from the beginning, because if you are so focused on presenting something perfect from the beginning, you won't be progressing. And this is something that I see a lot in the social media, when I talk with my friends, my colleague. Most of people struggle with this aim of perfection, and we forgot sometimes that this perfection doesn't exist. So even though you don't have the finance to start your project, you have to start it with the resources that you have at that time, and you will keep progressing, and the path will become lighter and lighter, and you will have good results. You just have to be patient.
Awesome, awesome. That's a great one, Asia. I'll also add to your point. You know, you talked about working with what you have. You know, so first of all, you need to get a job. One of the advice I'll give to some persons, or some young people out there, you can get a job. That's the first thing that you can do. If you actually lack resources to really set up that business or that particular thing, maybe if you have a job, get a salary, can actually save at some point in time towards that particular goal on your mind. That's the first thing. You get a job. Maybe you're already having a job. Also have it in mind that you will not be in that particular place forever. You also need to save for the future. So when you start saving for the future, you will always have money to invest in other things. That's the first thing.
Exactly.
Then also, second thing I will also advise is to show up consistently. Show up consistently. You should always make people feel your brand, even if your brand is not well known yet. Always make people know your brand. Make your brand visible online. Like she said, LinkedIn is a very perfect example. LinkedIn is a place for connection, for communication, for relating with a lot of people and all that. So make your brand visible online. Make people feel your brand. Make people part of your brand. Make people know your brand. Make people understand the vision of your organization. When they feel it, when they know what you are doing, they understand what you are doing, then they always have the longing to always support you. That is just the fact. At first, you, for a starter, you are just starting up an organization, starting up a business. It's like she said as well too. You may be facing some challenges. Maybe you are just starting, you are not getting as much customers as possible. People are not coming to you at that particular moment. But one thing I understand so far is if there is a need for that particular thing, you don't even need to worry, because people will always come to you. So that's why it is always great. It's always great for you to spot a need, something that is making people go far. You now want to fill that void with that skill you have. So when you are able to fill that void with that skill you have, people will come. They will look for you. When they hear that this person is there, they will come there, because that thing is something that is not in that environment before. or maybe you are even having a new market strategy to, to get those people instead of going far. So don't worry about, like you said, stagnation and all that. That could be one of the challenges. And secondly, another thing that we can do, although we had an interactive session, the first episode, or sorry, the second episode of our youth development show, where we had Avin Siva. He said it's not really good to start your business with a loan, and that's a point. It's not good to start your business with a loan. Sometimes you may go and take a loan and not fall into debt because you are not able to, you invested in the business, but later on it does not pull out, it does not give you the solution you need at that moment. So sometimes it's not good to take a loan. But when you are sure, that you can actually handle the loan, when you are sure that you can handle the loan and you are sure that there's going to be return on investment, then you can go for a loan. It's also fine too. You can go for loans as well to see. It's a perfect way that can help you to seek finance as well too. Then another one is to seek for sponsorship. You can seek for sponsorship. Uh, like I said, make your brand visible online. Make people feel the need for your brand. Make people understand that you actually need this to survive. You need this to grow. This is your dream. So this is your dream. This is your vision. So when people feel it, they understand it. They always be ready to sponsor that particular brand you have. So, like I said, and when you observe that there's a pressing need, you ensure that you can actually start small. You can actually start with the amount of money you have. Try to get a job. Um, Try to show up consistently. Make your brand visible online. Another one is, if it's comfort or convenient for you, you can possibly take a loan that you can actually pay at the end of the day, or you can seek for sponsorship, which is also a very great way as well too. And partnership, you can seek for partnership. Get your business plan. Make sure you have a business plan, because it's not really ideal for any person out there to not have a business plan. Have a business plan, have goals, and you can call it short-term goals and long-term goals. You try to ensure that you meet your short-term goals, and also you have strategies to hit your long-term goals as well too. It's also a very much important thing. Then make people notice that you are actually achieving something with your organization. Make people feel it, like see it, that you are actually doing something great, even if it's not so big, even if it's not so awesome. But make them understand that there is something you are doing that others cannot do, or make people understand that you are different from others. And when they feel that, when they see that, see the need to actually support you as well too. So many ways. Again, I'll just list them. The first one, partnership, sponsorship, loans, taking of loans, and you can start with the little you have, and try to get a job. When you have a job, you are no longer worried. You don't need to start asking people for money here and there. You already have a job, so you don't really have challenge that much, because there's a place you can actually take money from and invest in the business you are running. And these are some of the points that we can also involve in that particular need. So when you observe a need, don't sit down. When you know you can solve the problem, solve it. You don't need to wait. Like Assia said, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be perfect. All you just need to do is to start doing that particular thing on your mind, and start solving that particular problem in that environment. Very much important. And moving on to the third question. The third question is one which is a very great one as well, which says, in a situation where there is a need for something, but the purchasing power or cost of living is high, but the purchasing power or cost of living is high, what can one do?
I think this is a very frequent situation, and you can face it whatever your project is, whatever you are trying to sell, and you can face this situation whether you are in an African or a Western country. But I think that in such cases, the most important thing is innovation and adaptability. This is the key things that you have to keep in mind when you are facing this situation. You have to find a way to adjust your pricing model, for example, explore the cost effective ways to deliver the product or service, and don't hesitate to reach out to experts in that domain that you are targeting. Because for example, let's say you are a software engineer and you are trying to sell a new kind of um, of computers. Yes, your specialty, your expertise is in computers, in everything that is related to softwares, but you are not an expert in marketing. You are not an expert in digital um, marketing, for example. So you have to keep in mind that you can't handle everything but yourself by yourself. And in this kind of situation, is it's okay to reach out to specialists in the problem that you are facing. And at some point, whether you want it or not, you have to start growing your team, because you won't be able to handle everything by yourself. You have to learn to delegate, because maybe you are facing this cost problem because you don't have the tools in order to adapt the price of your product, and you need someone with another opinion that maybe will see something that you can't see. So here what I want to say is that teamwork is very important.
Awesome, awesome. That's a very great point, Assia. I must say, we need to learn how to build a great team, and this can help us to achieve success. And also, still on this point, I would say that we should learn to buy within our budget. Learn to buy within your budget. So, in a situation where the cost of living is high, and let's say you notice a lot of people need that particular product, a lot of people need it. Buy the amount of products that can reach at least maybe for a week or maybe for a day, then you restock again. So you buy to restock. You don't need to buy as much as possible when you have other products that still needs to be bought. So focus your attention on things that people need at that moment. You know, there are so many things, so many products. Maybe you have so many products, but there must be one particular one that people come for regularly. Always ensure that that product is available, even if you know. I know there's this idea we all have that we want to spread our arms everywhere. We want to put our money in things that generate more money than things that people really need. That is a problem I've observed. A lot of us have the money. We want to invest our money into things that gives us more money. But the fact is, the place that gives us more money, people don't even need it at that moment. So let's focus our attention on things that can generate us money. Not things that generate us money, but things that people need. That's the first thing. Things that people need at that moment. Then after buying those things that people need, you can now focus your attention on things that gives you more money. That should be the major thing. So if people come to your store or where you sell or something, and they come there and they don't see what you have, will they come again? They may not come again. It only depends on the environment, if those persons are your true customers. But if these persons are not your true customers, they may not come again. They are only passing. That means when they feel they need that particular thing, they will go to the person that has it at that moment. So that means we should ensure that we provide things, buy things within our budget, buy things that people need. Don't overstock items. focus your attention on the need, and focus your attention on your target audience. Your target audience, if you don't give them that attention, you don't give your customers that attention. They've told you first time, second time, third time, fourth time, fifth time, I need this particular thing, but you still feel it's what you want, you give to them. That means you don't value them actually. So we need to ensure that we value our customer. We give them what they want at that particular moment. They need something, we give it to them at that moment, and they will be happy that yes, they get what they are getting, what they need at that particular moment. So let's ensure that we don't just buy what generates so much money. Yes, we are going to buy that, but also ensure that we buy what people need and we restock it if there is no much money to achieve success. Please, let's try to do that. That is another one. The next question, which we have here, very, very vital question, which we also share as well too. This question we have says, what are some indicators to look at to be sure that there is a need for something? So, what are those things we spot around us that when we see these things, we feel that this place needs this place needs that?
Indeed, it is a very important question because when we target a specific need, we also need indicators that show us that it's a real need, and we can have some reliable indicators, including people actively searching for solution or alternatives, or maybe you can see that people have emotional responses. They are frustrated, they are stressed or limited because they can't find a solution for this need. And I think the key in order to how do we say that? In order to identify the indicators related to your need is to listen to people. And if, for example, if it's something that you are facing and you must think, maybe I am the only one who is facing this problem, maybe I am the only one who has these needs. You have to share it with other people, and I'm sure that you will be surprised to see that many people have the same problem. For example, I remember when I was in my 7th year of medical school, I discovered through a webinar about completing my residency in other countries that for that you need to have soft skills. And it was the first time that I was discovering where is soft skills. I never heard of that term before. And I felt that I was the only one who doesn't know about it. I felt that I was like living in a bubble, and that everyone else is developing their soft skills. And then I tried to talk about it about my friends, my colleagues, and I discovered that I'm not the only one. And the same frustration that I was feeling was also felt by other colleagues and other fellow medical students. And once you start detecting those indicators, you have to reach out to your network in order to analyze more the situation, to have more accurate indicators.
Very valid point. I say so. We have to engage in conversations. We have to reach out. We have to spot the needs. Like you said, it's very much important to observe and know what people need at that moment, and then attack it with utmost importance. So one thing is We have to listen to the complaints of people around. Maybe, for example, as a person in that environment, you may just be moving around and you hear some persons, oh, I'm going there to get this, I'm going there to get this. There are times when you are good in this particular area, when you now start hearing people going far to get what you can do, that's already a very big limitation. It hurts me a lot at some point in time when I hear such happening, something that I can actually solve in that particular area. So also it happens for other persons as well too. When you observe that I'm good at something, but people are going far to get it, when we can actually do it in this environment. So that's where a need comes in. The need comes in when you listen to the complaints of people, see people having some kind of conversations. You even ask them, if we do this in this place, will you be interested? If we do this for you, will you be interested? And they give you a very good response. It seems like this can actually work. And most times, you can also look personally into yourself. There are certain things that you need at some point in time, and you go so far to get them. Meaning that if you need them, others will need them as well too. Because for you to need something, for you to say, yes, I want to get this thing, and you go far to get it, it therefore implies there are still others that go so far to get that particular thing. Why can't we just put this thing in this place so that everyone can come here, everyone in this particular environment can come to this place to access the product? So one thing is you look into yourself, you look at the things that you need that makes you go far, and also engage in conversations with other persons. How do they go about it? How do they go about solving these problems? And it means that this thing is vital. It's possible that you can actually start it in that place and it may work. That's the fact. You may never know until you try. You will feel it's not useful until you try it. And when you try doing it, you notice that it's very valuable to the people around there. So we have to just try it out. You may not try it by investing so much money in it. You can try it by starting small to see the results you get out of it. One thing I love about Igbos in Nigeria, when they have businesses, they have the idea is this business, I'm going to make it in this business. So I don't care if customers are not coming at the beginning, the second day, the first day, the third day, the fourth day. No, they don't consider that. What they are looking at is at the end of this, maybe at the end of this particular thing, or we get results, people will start coming. Because what I'm actually doing for myself is I'm creating publicity. I'm sitting there, people are watching me, they are seeing what I'm doing. I'm telling them that I've opened up, I'm doing things, people are seeing things happening. Well, people are moved by what they see, not just what they hear. Are moved by what they see things happening, they see the way you invested money into it, see your passion you put into it, you see what you are doing, and they see how consistent, how you show up and everything. All this can actually turn into results at the end of the day. So let's try our possible best to show up in the small ways in the particular business that we are having. So engage in great conversations, listen to the complaints of people around you, and don't worry about the results you get at first. Just try to build yourself, and with time you begin to see the results that come along the way. So don't worry about the results. The results you are getting at first may not be really good, may not be really good. But as for me, I believe that if you can actually spot a need and you engage in conversations, you ask people about it, you start doing it, not just asking people, you start doing it, then things will actually work for you. And also remember the ways we said you can seek for support, financial support. There are so many ways we listed out. Maybe possibly you can start with the job, you can start with partnership, you can start with sponsorship, you can start with all these things. This can also help you in long run to achieve success. So don't feel it's not really, but make sure you observe the indicators. You see people coming to you and they know, some persons already know that you are good in this thing. Then they tell you, why not just set this up? They telling you that you should set it up. It's God telling you you should set it up. It's a sign, it's a clear indicator that you should set it up. But because you feel that you are not fit enough, you are not ready, you decide to lose such opportunity. No, you should not lose such opportunity. At that moment you spot a need, you should attack that need by intentionally acting towards it. Next question, which says, is a survey really necessary in its assessment? Is a survey really necessary in its assessment? What do you think about this?
I think that it's really necessary to assess the need with a survey or maybe a meeting. I remember that when like I said before, when I discovered that soft skills exist in my seventh year of medical school, I started complaining in the beginning. I was like, no, we don't have this here. No one is talking about it. I will never be able to develop my soft skills. That was my first reaction. I chose to be a victim. And then I found a Facebook group which was created by the organizers, the organizer of of the webinar where that I attended, where people asked talked about soft skills, and I posted that hey, I am a medical student. I This is the first time that I heard about soft skills. I don't know what to start. What should I do? How does it work? And the admin of the group simply responded that there is no specific way or specific procedure to learn soft skills. You have just to dive in. And that's when I started searching on the internet, and I found so many organization where I could volunteer. And that's where when I discovered Make Sense Africa, which is a French NGO that works here in Senegal, and their work mainly focuses on community service. And I joined. And when I joined them, I was really stressed because I didn't feel worthy enough to do volunteer work. I thought that you need to be uh, expert in something in order to be able to do that. And I participated in a program called Reaction Program, where you have to like plan a project and then execute it. And I talked about my frustration, which was what is soft skills? How can I develop it? And one of the first soft skill that I thought about was public speaking, because in my medical studies we do learn how to make a presentation, because every day in the hospital you have to gather information about your patient, you have to present him to see what you can do, what tests are you going to ask for in order to find the right diagnosis. But we don't learn about body language, we don't learn about vocal variety. We do learn how to present something, which is a disease, but we don't learn the tools of public speaking. So when I joined the reaction program, that was the project that I wanted. I wanted to organize a public speaking workshop for students, especially for university students who just graduated, because I realized that yes, we do have a degree in a specific field, but in order to find a job, you need more than a degree in order to be competitive. Uh, so, um, so I chose public speaking, and during this reaction program, we learned about specific tools on how to execute a project. And one of those tools were the Sense Act workshop. The Sense Act workshop is a workshop that remains remain mostly on collective intelligence. And the goal is to gather with the volunteer that will work with you in order to execute your project, and you have to discuss with them the problem and find solution with them, because before executing your project you have to make sure that people will accept the solution that you will offering. People need to feel involved in your project. They need to make sure that their voice matter, that the project that you are trying to execute is for them. So this Sense Act, so a workshop really teaches you how to collect data. You maybe other people will think about solution that you didn't think about. Maybe the solution that you are suggesting isn't really efficient. So I think that assessing the need, whether through a survey or through, for example, a workshop like the Sense Acts workshop, is really important, because it gives you a clear vision about the situation, and it's very efficient. For example, when I organized the Sense Act with the volunteer that are going to work with me on the public speaking workshop, I realized that they were all facing the main problem. They wanted to develop their soft skills because they were all university students who will soon graduate, and they knew that they need that in order to secure a job. So I think that doing a survey, doing a meeting with the people who will work with you, and for example, if the solution that you are offering will involve, for example, the people that lives in your neighborhood, you need to meet with the responsible of the neighborhood. For example, here in Senegal, we call it le chef de quartier. I think it's in English. It's the equivalent of like the responsible of the neighborhood. If you want to implement your solution in the neighborhood, you have first to make sure that the responsible of the neighborhood agree with what you are offering. Because if the neighbors see that the responsible of the neighborhood is not very convinced, no one will follow you. No one will
Support it.
buy your product. So making people feel that their voice matters is very important, and you do that by a survey or by meeting the community, meeting the officers, the officials. This is something very crucial when you want to launch a product or not, or launch a business.
Perfect. That's awesome. I must say, I picked a lot of points from what you said. So it's great to, make a survey, create a survey, to know how important how important this point is to the people. So if you don't know, they don't feel what you are doing, you don't see the need for that particular thing. You could actually list out a lot of things that you do. Then you ask them some questions, to know the ones that they want at that particular moment. Maybe it could contain their phone numbers for a follow-up, just because follow-up is also very much important, not just for them to, give you the response and all that. You also need to follow them up so that there will always be a complete response and everything. It's very much important. But if there is no follow-up, what you actually want may not really be achievable. So when you notice that people need it at that moment, it's achievable. Then, as you said to the leaders of that environment, at some point, it depends on the country anyway. It depends on the country. So some countries, there's no much restrictions in terms of certain things you are doing. But if there are restrictions, ensure you reach out to the leaders of that particular environment to know what they feel about it, and they may even support you to achieve success. That's very much important. So when it comes to publicity, maybe in the villages, you observe that they have a town crier who disseminates who shares information in the villages. And also in the cities, there's still a modernized way you can use to share information, pass information to people around as well too. So it's very much important. So a survey, possibly you get them together, you get them to interact, you get them to share their views, and also and all that. It's also very much important. So you could create a Google form. You could give them access to indicate their phone numbers or their emails. And yes, when they indicate the points that they have issues with, you now call them or send them a mail to follow them up, to know how to reach out to them and call them, and all that's also very much important as well. So we support you creating a form or using surveys is very much important at some point in time. But just depends on the kind of business you are doing. The kind of business will determine if yeah, you need a survey or not. But it's always good to survey, ask questions, and engage in conversations that would actually make that need relevant enough. So, very good one. Once more, thank you so much, Asia. Thank you so much, Asia. So we have the next question, which says, this one is related to your field. It's related to your field as a medical doctor and a Toastmaster. So we have, tell us about how you were able to identify that there was a need for what you do right now. How were you able to identify the need for what you do right now? So you could just share from your own experience. And yeah, how were you able to spot it? How were you able to discover that this is the particular thing you are doing? And how has it been for you being a medical doctor, being a resident, a clinical biologist, being a Toastmaster, and so many great things you are doing online and where you are in Senegal?
Okay, so I will first talk about public speaking before moving to my job. So as I said
All right.
before, I was lacking soft skills, and the first thing that I identified was that I didn't have the tools to be an efficient speaker when I'm presenting something, and I knew that I will need something. I will need to be an efficient speaker in order to succeed in my job and in my project, and also in my personal life. So as I said, I had like the phase where I chose to be the victim, and then I realized that I have to take actions. No one will come to save me or make me a better speaker just magically. So I started searching, and I think that the first thing that you have to do is to join a network, an organization, even though it's not related to your field of work. NGOs, volunteer organization are really a good are really good places to network and to share your ideas in order to find the solution for your need. And it's by complaining to other people that I learned about Toastmasters. And when I joined Toastmasters, I started learning more and more about public speaking, and I can say that now, after being a member of Toastmaster for 3 years, I have evolved a lot, and I'm really grateful to this organization. And once I felt confident a little bit, I started posting about public speaking on my LinkedIn, about my activities related to Toastmasters, because I knew that a lot of people want to find something like Toastmaster to develop their leadership and public speaking skills. I knew that even though I didn't have a big network, even though I'm not a famous person, I can I can make people know about Toastmaster. I can help people find a solution to the problem related to public speaking resources. and I feel that I kind of succeeded in that because I have many people reaching out to me on LinkedIn to asking questions about Toastmasters, and many of them have joined my club here in Dakar through the post that I have been posting about it. So this is about the public speaking, and now about my job. So as I said before, I am a medical doctor, and I'm currently specializing in clinical biology. So clinical biology is a specialty where you study biochemistry, microbiology, and hematology and parasitology. So it's the doctor who is in charge of doing like the blood tests in order to help the doctor to make the right diagnosis. We like we we do the tests that allows you to know your sugar level in your blood, uh, um, those kind of tests. And I chose this specialty because I can see that it's a field that is advancing very very quickly, and we can now have a lot. We have now a lot of biomarkers that allows us to make the right diagnosis and to be sure that the treatment we are providing is efficient. But the problem is, for example, that we can see that sometimes some tests are not available here in Africa, for example,
Okay.
whether it's Morocco, where I came from, or here in Senegal, where I study. Sometimes we need to send our blood samples to
Samples.
foreign countries in order to have some data. And I think that we need to have this technology here in Africa, so we can develop our own expertise. And right now, I am learning the basic of clinical biology. But after that, I have specific field that I am targeting, that I see that we don't have here in Africa in general, and we need to have the materials needed in order to make the test that we need, so we can no longer have to send our samples to other countries because it's very 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 expensive.
Actually, it is. Actually, it is.
And this is something that is growing here. For example, in Senegal, recently, a research center have opened here in my university. It's called CIGAS. It focuses on genomics, and it's really something innovative. And I can see that with the work of this research center, we are making the health of the population better, and we are and the founders of this research center are making the life of people better. And it's also makes me realize that it is possible to innovate here in Africa. You just have to work hard and to be able to target what is lacking in the field where you are working.
Awesome. Awesome. That's so nice. A very great one, I must say. And I believe I can feel the passion in you, really very passionate about improvement, improving yourself and imparting lives. That's a very great one. Once more, I must commend you, Asia, for doing a very great job over there in Senegal as a medical doctor, as a Toastmaster, as a public speaker. These are very great things. Keep up the great work. Keep up the great work. Now, we have just one last question. One last question. So this question says, Can environment limit the need for something? Can environment limit the need for something? And how can you turn your environment to your favor when you have spotted a lack? How can you turn your environment to your favor when you have spotted a lack?
I think this is a situation that occurs very frequently because sometimes, even though you have a solution that is efficient, sometimes you have cultural obstacles, economic obstacles that hinder people from reaching out to you or for buying your products. And I think for example, I will take the example of mental health from for example in Morocco, mental health is taboo. We don't talk about it. We know a lot of things about other disease like diabetes, high blood pressure, but when you talk about mental health, people don't really understand it. They don't understand the disease related to mental health, and I can see that many doctors don't choose to specialize in psychiatry because they see that it won't work for them. They won't have enough patients, they won't make enough money, or they prefer to choose other specialties like, for example, cardiology, because everyone eats a lot of salts, everyone has high blood pressure, so they are sure that they will find work. But but they don't choose, for example, psychiatry because they see that even though people are suffering, they don't reach out to psychiatrists to find a solution for their condition. And I think when you face this kind of situation, you have to raise awareness about the need that you are trying uh, to uh, to resolve, or you have to raise awareness about the problem that you are trying to resolve. I can see today that a lot of organizations are making more and more awareness about mental health, but I feel that it's not enough because I can see that people are not yet really aware about the importance of mental health. So I know that gave a specific example related to my field, but what I want to say by presenting this problem is that when you know for sure that you are targeting a really vital need, but people are not reaching out to you, you are not selling enough products, you don't have enough customers. I think you have to raise awareness about that. And fortunately, now we have a very powerful tool, which is social media. So you have to use your social media platform to make people know about this thing that you are offering. And I'm sure that it won't work from the first time. You won't be famous in very quickly, but it's important to be consistent and to persevere as much as possible.
Awesome. That's a very great one. That's a very great one. So it means you've been able to analyze Senegal and you observe some of the challenges that they have there. And that's even the first step. The first step is to spot a problem and offer solutions to the problem. That's a very great one. And still on this point, I would say that we should focus on one problem at a time. Focus on one problem at a time. So how can you turn your environment to your favor? You cannot be known for 70 things. You cannot be known for 70 things at the same time. It's from one thing. It's from one thing that we are doing that people will begin to know you. So build one thing first, make that thing very good. Make your name known in that particular area. That means whenever they are looking for the person that knows how to do this thing well, they will always call you and say, yes, Asia. Asia is the person in charge. So if Asia can do this for you, if Asia other things we should sell along the way. So for you to own that environment, turn that environment to your favor, choose one particular thing, become the best at that particular thing. Then the other things you now turn those customers that are coming to you for that product to know more about that other product, and they begin to purchase those other products from you. It may sound very easy by words, but all these things are things that are practical. When it is practical, you begin to see it working for you. So ensure that you own one particular niche, one particular area you are good at, you turn it to your favor, then you build on those people. And also don't focus on breaking trust. Your focus should not be on breaking trust. I know sometimes our focus is on duping people, scamming people at the first time, charging them so much money, they purchase the product, and after that, they don't come again. Our focus is not on that. Our focus should be on building trust, building relationship, such that that person, you have helped the person, you have done something for the person has purchased something from you, the person still has that longing to always continue coming to you in that particular area. So don't inflate your price too much. Make your prices as good as possible. Meaning that if you are buying something, you should not inflate your price to the level that people now want to go to other places to get that particular product. Ensure that people get it at a fair price, the price that you just add some of the money you spent at some point in time to make the price very fair. Like I said before, focus on one particular area at a time. Then also your friends. What do your friends know you for? Maybe in your school, there can be a particular thing that you are good at. Maybe you are good at speaking, you are good at this or that. There are some things that you are doing that make yourself different from other people. That thing is your niche. That thing is the kind of business that can actually favor you. And when you start that business, you see a lot of results coming along the way. So ensure that you focus your attention on things that people already know you for. When they know you for that thing, they will always come to you when they need that solution that you are offering. So focus on one thing at a time, focus on one problem at a time, and you will achieve success. Once more, I want to deeply appreciate Dr. Assia Kahkahni for being with us today on this program. Thank you so much, Assia, for being with us today.
Thank you, Victor, for this invitation. As I said before, it was my first time that I do a live session on YouTube. I'm sure that you have noticed that I was stressed, that I was moving a lot. So I hope that you enjoyed the session. I hope that you learned new things. And I hope that it won't be the last time that I collaborate with you, Victor. And please, I hope that all the viewers that were with us today will reach out to you for more trainings on leadership and on personal development. And if you have a question for me, please don't hesitate to reach out to me through LinkedIn. I'm really active there, and it was really an enriching experience. And I am sure that it won't be the last time. Thank you very much.
You are greatly welcome, Assia Kahkahni. I must say today's session was really awesome, and I do sincerely appreciate you for sharing your experience, sharing your story, and shout out to the great persons that shared their comments. I can see some comments over here. Shout out to the great persons. We do sincerely appreciate you in one way or the other. Shout out to Ernest Edosa. Shout out to Roy Michael. Shout out to Oliver Wena Netiga. Shout out to Precious Emmanuel. Shout out to Vanessa Martins. Shout out to Dashani Sivakuma. Shout out to Luxana. Shout out to everyone that has supported us in one way or the other to ensure that we keep up with our program. We look forward to a better and greater program come next week. Do well to be with us by 3 p.m. West African time. Come with all your questions, come with everything because the next session, next program is going to be massive. We're going to be interacting on something very innovative. And this is actually centered on relationship. Interesting that could be. It's going to center the relationship, and we're going to be having two great speakers from different countries coming to share their expertise with you on this topic. Once more, I want to sincerely appreciate you, a great woman, medical doctor, resident. Appreciate you for everything and for being with us on this program. And before we wrap up, there's something we usually do. So I would love you to share an advice for the young persons watching, maybe those that intend to be medical doctors, or maybe those that they heard you today. What's your advice for them? People that want to grow, try, maybe they're having some challenges. In 1 minute, just share an advice for them.
The first advice that I want to share is that don't have perfection as a goal, because if you set perfection as a goal, you will be frustrating, because not only you will feel that you are not progressing, but also you will never reach it. And I'm saying that because I personally experienced that, and it took me a lot of time to understand that it doesn't exist. Even though I was seeing people talking about it. So always lower the bar, and it's okay if you struggle at the beginning. It's okay if you don't succeed from the first attempt. This is the way that you will learn, and it's the process. And you should trust the process wherever you are targeting, whatever the project that you want to launch.
Awesome, awesome. Once more, sincerely appreciate you. Appreciate everyone for being with us in today's program. Thank you so much, Jean Kristen Ridoni. Thank you so much, Efan Sotude Mia. Thank you so much to everyone. Don't forget to follow her on LinkedIn. Don't forget to follow her on LinkedIn. She's very hospitable. She's very great and awesome. And ask her any question you experience in one way or the other, and reach out to her. And in your career, you have plans to be a medical doctor. You have plans to go into other things. Reach out to her for some advice and all that.